No slaves, no toilets. Just you and the never-ending flow of Roman excrement. Welcome to life as a foricarius, the bathroom attendant of ancient Rome, where you're literally knee-deep in other people's sh*t. In today's Rome, circa 79 CE, we meet Brutus Lentulus, a foricarius working at the public latrine near the Forum. It's barely dawn, and already Brutus is scraping yesterday's dried excrement from the marble toilet seats of the 20-hole communal latrine. His tool of choice? A sponge on a stick that's seen better days. Much like Brutus himself. By Jupiter's hairy backside, Brutus mutters as he plunges the sponge into a bucket of vinegar water. Another glorious day in the service of Rome's collective bowels. Let's pause and consider what it really means to be a bathroom attendant in ancient Rome. First fact, unlike modern bathrooms with privacy stalls and flushable toilets, Roman public latrines featured rows of marble seats with holes cut into them, arranged side by side without dividers. Waste dropped directly into sewers or cesspits below. Privacy, that's a concept for future millennia. Brutus takes his position near the entrance as the first morning customers arrive. Merchants, laborers, and citizens heading to the Forum for the day's business. A wealthy patrician tosses a small copper coin into Brutus's collection bowl without making eye contact. "Gratitude, noble sir," Brutus says with practiced deference. The coin would hardly buy him a cup of watered-down wine, but it's something. Many patrons pay nothing at all. Second historical fact, foricarii like Brutus were typically freedmen or poor citizens who rented public latrines from the city and made their meager living through voluntary tips and by selling recycled products. Yes, recycled products, from the latrines. "Fresh ammonia for your woolens," Brutus calls out to a passing cloth merchant. "Collected just yesterday. Makes whites whiter than Neptune's beard." The cloth merchant wrinkles his nose but hands over a few coins for a small jug of urine. This is not a joke. Roman launderers used human urine as a source of ammonia for cleaning and bleaching clothes. Foricarii collected this valuable commodity and sold it to fullers, tanners, and even toothpaste makers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ancient Romans brushed their teeth with urine. Makes that mint-flavored toothpaste seem rather luxurious, doesn't it? By midday, the latrine is bustling with activity. Romans chat casually while relieving themselves, discussing politics and business deals with their pants down. For them, this is normal social interaction. For Brutus, it's just more waste to manage. "Pardon, sir." Brutus addresses a portly senator who's just finished his business. "Would you care for a fresh tersorium?" He holds out a sponge on a stick soaking in vinegar water. Third historical fact, without toilet paper, Romans cleaned themselves with a communal sponge attached to a stick called a tersorium, which was rinsed in running water or a vinegar solution between uses. Wealthier patrons might bring their own, but most used what the foricarius provided. The senator accepts the tersorium with a grimace, uses it, and returns it to Brutus without a tip. Brutal. "May Venus bless your generosity," Brutus mutters under his breath as the senator waddles away, toga dragging dangerously close to the filthy floor. A sudden commotion erupts as a young man leaps from his seat, howling and clutching his exposed buttocks. "Something bit me. By the gods. Something bit me from below," Brutus sighs. This happens more often than you'd think. Roman sewers were home to rats, and occasionally, when the water level was high enough in the sewers beneath, creatures could make their way up through the pipes. There are documented cases of rodents, snakes, and even octopi in coastal latrines, making surprise appearances from below. The foricarius is expected to handle these situations too. "Calm yourself, citizen," Brutus says, hurrying over with a cloth. "It was likely just a splash. The Tiber is high today." He knows it was probably a rat, but why cause a panic? The afternoon brings new challenges as a group of drunken off-duty soldiers stumbles in, laughing raucously. "Hey, shit scraper," one calls to Brutus. "Is it true you foricarii drink the vinegar water at the end of the day to save money?" The soldiers roar with laughter as Brutus forces a smile. Of course he doesn't, but the rumors about foricarii are almost as foul as the latrines themselves. One of the soldiers misses the hole entirely, leaving a mess on the marble seat. Apologies, he says with mock sincerity. But cleaning it is your purpose, is it not? Brutus nods tightly. As defending Rome is yours, brave soldier. Though I face my enemies daily, while yours seem rather absent of late. The soldier's face darkens, but his companions pull him away before a confrontation ensues. Insulting a Roman soldier, even subtly, could cost Brutus dearly, but the small victory feels worth the risk. In the late afternoon, Brutus encounters his one moment of genuine human connection as Belinda Rufina, the perfume seller from the shop across the street, enters with a small flask. "For your vinegar water," she says kindly, handing him a vial of lavender oil. "Perhaps it will make your day more bearable." Brutus accepts the gift with genuine gratitude. "A fragrance fit for the emperor himself, Belinda." "Hardly," she laughs. "I save the good stuff for paying customers." Their fingers touch momentarily as she places a small coin in his palm as well. Her kindness is the one bright spot in Brutus's otherwise thankless day. As evening approaches, the worst part of Brutus's job begins: cleaning out the sewers beneath the latrine. The city's advanced sewer system, the Cloaca Maxima, was an engineering marvel, but it wasn't perfect. Blockages occurred regularly, and guess who had to clear them? Stripping down to a simple loincloth, Brutus descends into the sewer with a long pole and a small oil lamp. The stench is overwhelming, a miasma of human waste and rotting organic matter. Many Foricariae develop lung ailments from breathing these noxious fumes daily. Some even die from the toxic gases that build up in poorly ventilated sewers. "The things I do for Rome," Brutus grunts as he pushes his pole against a stubborn blockage. With a sudden gush, the sewage begins flowing again, splashing his bare legs. He's thankful for the vinegar baths he'll take later, another job perk, if you can call it that. Vinegar was believed to disinfect and remove the smell, though it did neither particularly well. Back above ground, Brutus counts his meager earnings for the day. Between tips and urine sales, he's made just enough to feed himself and pay his rent to the city. Tomorrow will be the same, and the day after that. Just as he's preparing to close for the night, a final patron rushes in, a wealthy patrician who's clearly had too much wine at a dinner party. "Thank the gods you're still open," the man slurs, frantically taking a seat. "The wife would kill me if I soiled another toga." The man finishes his business with a satisfied sigh, then turns to Brutus with sudden philosophical interest, the kind that only comes with inebriation. "Tell me, Foricarius, do you not find it strange that Rome conquers the known world, builds roads and aqueducts that will last millennia, creates art and literature that will be studied for all time, yet still we all must sit and defecate like the lowest beasts?" Brutus hands him a clean tersorium. "I find, noble sir, that in the latrine all men are truly equal. Emperor or slave, patrician or plebeian. Everyone's waste stinks the same." The drunk nobleman blinks slowly, processing this wisdom. "Profound," he finally declares, handing Brutus a silver denarius, more than he's earned all day. "You are a philosopher trapped in a Foricarius's life. And you, sir, are a generous man trapped in a drunkard's body." Brutus replies with a genuine smile. After the nobleman staggers out, Brutus closes up the latrine for the night. He washes himself as best he can, changes into his clean tunic, and heads home to his tiny apartment in the Insulae, the crowded apartment buildings that house Rome's working poor. Tomorrow he'll rise before dawn and do it all again. The Foricarius may be at the bottom of Roman society, quite literally dealing with its bottom, but without him, the great city would drown in its own filth. So the next time you flush a toilet without a second thought, remember Brutus Lentulus and his tersorium. 2,000 years of technological progress separate you from his daily reality, and your bathroom doesn't come with an attendant, though sometimes, when the toilet clogs, you might wish it did. Because if there's one thing more consistent than Roman engineering, it's human waste. As Brutus would say, in the great forum of life, everyone eventually needs a latrine, and someone has to clean up the sh*t. Now that's a legacy that really stinks.